brand new mic. Hoping everybody can hear me and those past issues are out of the way. So I'm just doing my daily warrants at the moment. I was thinking about going and doing some, as soon as I finish this up here, let me turn these in and then I'll go do some Ghost Vault hard. Gotta kick them around here a little bit, make sure they're awake. Be sure to let me know in the comments, or whether you can hear this any better than the old ones. It looks like the microphone's kicking a little bit quick there, so I'm hoping that means it's working and everybody can hear me. But if you're a member of our Icebreaker community for Summoner's Glory, then you can send me a message through Discord. If you're not, and you're a member and you play Summoner's Glory, be sure to join our Discord for Icebreakers. It's not just a guild Discord, it is also a community for all players. We are primarily on server 4. However, a couple of our members do bounce back and forth between the other servers. Not always. I don't think there's an Icebreaker actual guild anywhere in the other ones, but there are definitely some of our players are there. So come join us either in Discord or on server 4, and we'd be more than happy to help you out if you need the extra help, or if you just want a community to play with. We still have many active players, and none of us plan on leaving anytime soon. So as you can see, I'm heading 2 of my people over to the Ghost Vault, Angela and Natasha. And as soon as Bones Dragon gets done with the warrant he's working on, he'll be sent over there too. So while we're waiting on him, I want to go through and cover a few things that I may have covered in the other ones, but you couldn't hear me. But one thing I do want to talk about is the new update, or at least a little bit of it. We have the new towers, the new factions. So as you can see, I have been prepping for the light one, the dark one. I have 2 of those, and the red one. Unfortunately, this guy, he's not going to stay around long. He's pretty much what raid players would call a chicken. He's going to get moved into one of these other players, or one of these other tunes. Currently, I'm debating, and I really don't want to do it, but as you can see, she's been maxed out. But what I'm debating is taking him, putting it into her, taking her, and putting him into him. That way I can have my first 200 up here. And I've been hee-hawing about it because of the new update. And I got 120 down here, Golden Zoe, Forgotten Zoe. Got some other ones in the works, as you can tell. Saving them all for the new tower. They're not high level yet, but some of them are getting a little extra kick here and there, getting started early, taking their skills up. King Argon, I haven't got anything to take his skills up yet, because I just got him back again. I had him when I first played the game, and he did a really good job for me. Do I have 7,000 yet? Nope. See, once I get 7,000 again, I'm going to get another copy. So when you go to make up your green team or your win team, as it may be sure to think of King Argon, because he did do a really good job. Another one you might want to consider. Oh no, that's not her. Let's just go to the book, because it's a little bit easier. You can see all of them. Okay, so here we go. The Grimoire. Don't forget to go to your favorites every now and then, once you've opened stuff, and see if you've gotten any of these rewards, because as you can see, These rewards are pretty good rewards. I don't have one there. Don't have one there. Still nothing. But you can go to here, look through some of the phantoms. Definitely recommend King Argon. Next one I would consider may or may not work out well with Clock. I think she will. Get some good runes on her, get her damage up. And that right there is why. Her A4, or fourth ability, the passive, when attacking ignores 20% of the enemy's magic defense. Now with the update coming in, she may turn into a little fire plug. And as you see, her A3, she's ignoring 20% of defense, and she does 220 damage to all enemies. When it gets down here, that's 250, and 50% caused are converted into hit points, so that makes her hard to kill, as long as she's fast enough to keep going. Another one you want to consider for the win team is definitely Secret Dancer. She is very nasty. She pulls along and does extra turns, and there we go. Chance of executing coordinated attack doing 110% physical damage. So notice that goes up to a 70% chance. With that 70% chance, you also get extra physical damage. So I think when I go to build my win team, I am going to have Secret Dancer, definitely King Argon. She's a consideration. And then you've, of course, got the Clock. Mr. Astro Clock. He is helpful, he hits hard, he speeds up your team, he heals your team. And that is also the same thing that Tara does. Yeah. Restores 24% health to all allies and removes one negative effect. Can come in handy. But the rest of her stuff is magic damage, and she caused damage into hit points. Once again back here, caused damage into hit points. And I think that she could be, with the right runes and the bigger build, pretty nasty because of this right here. Now if they ever do a rework and they make that for the whole team, she would definitely be moved up to a 5-star instantly. Let's see. One of the ones that is probably going to be the easiest for most people is the fire. Goddess Zoe. Another reason I'm debating whether to get rid of her. She is always good. But is it worth it to take BO up? To put myself behind and have to start over on my Sea Conqueror when she's totally complete? I don't think it is. You've also got Bloody Overload. He is nasty now that they did the rework. The guy you saw there, the General of Fire, who probably shouldn't use as food because, and everybody says, oh, King Arthur's the only kind. I gotta admit, King Arthur's nasty. He is death incarnate. When he counterattacks, he does a 3-hit attack that levels your character. Kind of makes him a bit OP, maybe even the biggest OP in the game. But here, when being attacked, 50% chance of performing a counterattack and dealing 100% physical. If you notice, when you get that to 4, the counterattack damage increases to 130. It does not increase the chance, which is why people don't use him quite as much. But deals 100% more damage to taunted enemies. Damaging taunted enemies will restore 10% of his missing hit points. So, when fully booked, damage increases to 130, restoration about 16%. Not huge, but if you've got, say, a healer like Goddess Zoe, that makes him hard to kill. Especially if it's Goddess Zoe, Clock, and Bloody Overload. He could be very nasty. His A2 taunts all enemies for 3 turns. Incoming damage is reduced by 50% until the start of the next turn. So that gives him a bonus of decreasing the damage And unlike a lot of the other ones, he taunts all enemies, which is why I used to use him. Here is his attack. Deals 120% physical damage and taunts them for 3 turns. So the one that he hits with his A1 is always taunted, as long as you got your accuracy high enough to do it. Makes him a definite possibility for fire, as we both, or as you know, some of us older players know. Goddess Zoe and Bloody Overlord together slow down a team, make a kill slower. Why? You want to know why? Right here. Let me find it. I'm not perfect. I can't find the stuff right automatically, which one's which. Let's see. Extra attack in the full attack bar for 1 turn can be used. Upon using his skill, Bloody Overlord loses 10% hit points. Well, that minus of the 10% hit points kicks up his attack and makes it so he hits harder, because every 10% of his hit points that Bloody Overlord loses gives 1 extra attempt at dealing damage. Well, Goddess Zoe has this annoying thing that makes it hard to use that ability, because the end of each teammate's turn restores 10% of lost hit points. Are you seeing the problem there? If not, let me go ahead and spell it out for you. This ability takes 10% hit points away, so that Bloody Overlord hits harder. For every amount of hit points that's missing from him, he hits harder. He does an extra attack. She's healing him after he does this. So he loses the 10%, then he regains it right back. So he gets no bonus from it. So what most people do is they go without Goddess, and they run either Goddess Zoe or Bloody Overlord. So if you're running Goddess Zoe, though, having a good tank, or coming up with another damage dealer, like one of the ones I've used before because of his abilities, is Duke of Fate. Now, Duke of Fate, when attacking confused enemies, deals 200% additional magic damage. That's pretty nasty. But when attacking, there's a 50% chance of inflicting confusion on the enemy. So that can go up to 65. Summoning Rune Barrier, deal 240% damage to all enemies, 50% chance, absorbs their attack bar by 30%. So he's absorbing their attack bar. And you can take it clear up to 270%. Even if you're using Bloody Overlord, Duke of Fate can do some nasty stuff. You've also got Summons a Rune of Attack, 1 enemy, deal 100% magic damage. But this, not only do you get the damage, and not only does it absorb the attack bar, but then you go back to his passive, and you've got a chance of inflicting confusion. And 50% isn't always the best, so he starts to shine when you get him to level 4, because then you get a 65% chance. It's better than half, and can help you get through some nasty stuff. Now, another one I want to highlight here at this point is Queen of Chaos. Extra time the user loses 30%, or each time the user loses 30% health, grants 1 stack of Vampirism, which restores hit points equal to 30% of the damage. Each time the user returns from the Chaos Dimension, damage increased by 30%. Effects can stack up to 3 times. So, hit point loses reduced to 25%, damage increased 30, and as you see, as you get more skill into her, hit point loss reduced to 15%, and damage increased to 45, helping out quite a bit. Whips all enemies 9 times, causes 22% damage. Well, the 29 is kind of nice. It does do a little bit better. I don't know. She seems a little under, if you know what I mean. Underpowered. But sacrifice 10% converts hit points to hide the Chaos Dimension, becomes untargetable. Okay, so she can hide in the Chaos Dimension, and that's what they were talking about. Her whip is kind of nasty, but I've never really tried to take her and just fully power her out. She could be nice. Um, the hide in the chaos dimension, if you were wanting to do a couple of people like that, you've also got Umbrella Chick from the light side, who also hides or blocks damage, puts up a shield. Let's see what's around here. Cause an additional 80% physical damage effect can occur multiple times. Now most of these guys, like you said, this guy's a 3, so he's not even really on the list of what people would normally play. But I like Sea Conqueror. I like Prometheus because he does a lot of fire damage and increases his own crit rate in battle by 35 up to 50%. When taking damage, has 50% chance of activating the burning will affect, which increases the damage of the next attack by 30%. So if you get that up to 45, that makes that much more deadly. 200% magic damage up to 260, 100% chance of setting them on fire. Zoe sets them on fire, he could go well with Zoe. Then you could have 2 people making sure that they're burning to death every time they move. Not a lot of people think outside the box in this game. I happen to do that, so I've sit here and gone through some of these. I gotta admit, the girl I didn't go through very well. I thought she did more than what she did. But when you consider Prometheus mixed with Zoe, you'd have 2 fire people that would do extra damage through their fire. Doesn't seem like much, but when you do raid and some of the clan bosses, you get to see we're adding extra DOTs, or damage over times, can stack and make a big difference in the clan boss. So it's going to do the same thing in some of these other fights. Unfortunately, what a lot of people say in this game is you have to think 1 shot, 1 kill. Because you can 1 shot, 1 kill 90% of the stuff in this game. So you're not thinking about a second turn or a third turn or a fourth turn. So these guys with these fires and all these other abilities get left out. But when you play some of these other games like I do, Raid, Shadow Legends, Wizard 101, you think more long term instead of just 1 shot, 1 kill. So this is pretty much, he would make a really good one to go with God of Zoe because of his crit rate bonus right here. If they were to ever make that for the whole team, he would definitely be a 5-star. But if you go God of Zoe, you go to Sea Conqueror, you go to him, and then you come back here and you start looking, and you grab this tank because he taunts everybody to keep everybody off your team. God of Zoe's going to be giving him health. It makes a good fire team for the Tower of Fire. Up to you, however you want to do it, but that's some of my suggestions. Well, it looks like Bones is done with his warrant, so let me claim it here real quick if I didn't already. Just getting a little gold book there. And I'll try to cover more champions, more towers as they come out or when they come out. Maybe a little bit to talk about as we go through, get some of this stuff done another weekend. But if you want some top fire picks, there you go. Some people are going to say, oh, don't get rid of BO because he is so powerful, which I understand that. But for those of you who don't have BO, you can consider some of those other ones I just told you about. BO is nasty, and you'll see that when I'm in GV Hard. So let's ship out some invites to my characters here. Get them all grouped up. Hard. Approve, approve. Now, I am going to control this and go take out the first boss. And here is where you'll notice I am definitely Bloody Overlord strong. Let me cut this down to one screen. So you can see the whole thing. Bloody Overlord's a monster. I don't even know if any of the others will ever get a chance to play. Lord of Shadows, you've seen in there. I've been using him forever on Angela's account. Him and Sea Conqueror are my two oldest ones that I still have. They are both, well, I have to admit, LOS isn't totally maxed out yet, but he's dang close. And here we go again. You're going to get to see, even with all these debuffs that's going across, how some of this works and how the Bloody Overlords are just totally OP. That one by himself just dusted Grineer. I'm pretty sure I flipped it on hard. Is this not on hard? I don't know. Well, we'll have to see, but that sure doesn't look like it was very hard. Yep, gold boxes. This is on hard. There we go. Oops, ran right into him. Now don't take it lightly, this other Bloody Overlord over here is pretty nasty too. This is on Natasha's account. I have her run the Puppet, Bloody Overlord, and then I got Bloody Overlord and LOS over here. I have seen before 3 teams of Bloody Overlord and Puppet though. Why? Because Puppet hits very hard too, and she puts decreased defense on. As you saw, LOS actually got a turn. Second Bloody Overlord got a turn. This is dark, so it has a little bit more defense. That may or may not play, but to me it seems like in here dark does have a little bit more defense when you're going against them. Let's see how things go with Ghost Emissary Jester. Bloody Overlord hammers. LOS for the cleanup on the ads. Just got the boss to go. Second LOS comes through. Now his runes are not as refined as the first LOS or the first Bloody Overlords. My Natasha account has always been my ult, so I do lack on a little bit on her. But she's definitely strong enough to make a difference in this dungeon. Bones Dragon is obviously the smallest at 170. You see he's got 140s for his characters, but it's enough to make it faster and more efficient to clear out GV hard. Now, I can't wait to see these new dungeons, even though I'm a little bit low on my ults. One thing you always want to do, take her out. Notice I am making a point to show my dislike for Onk's ability to smash the entire team. Hoping they kill her before she gets a turn to do anything. And there we go. Now, Ghost Ruler Sevilla, she has a lot of defense. And even though the rest of her team just got handed to her, it's going to take a second to beat her down, because she can sit there and take it. Now, you're going to see a lot of big numbers go across the screen, but she's got some sort of a shield, they say, that absorbs it. With the turn meter control that I've got, she won't go very much. but she can just stand there and take it and take it and take it. Even with magic defense down, physical defense down, everybody slamming her. It's going to take a couple minutes to take her down. Now, if you notice, Bones is using the clock. That's because Natasha and Angela hit harder than anybody else. Their characters do. So I've got my turn control over here with Clock and Haley. They don't do much damage, but they keep that attack bar down. Then I've got a couple of the ice sheaths here, which help keep her attack bar down also. So between Haley, the two ice sheaths, and then him speeding everybody up, it keeps her from popping that, any kind of damage out once her ads are gone. Merlin's nasty, so is all of the rest. If you can get down to this point, which is part of the problem, when you first start doing Ghost Vault, is getting down to her. Getting it to where it's just her. Because everybody else hits really hard. Now, I have not put $1 billion into my team to get them all to 200, as you can see. But I've been doing Ghost Vault with these three ever since they were 160s. Before any 180s were on my team. So you don't have to have 180s, but 180s make it much easier. 200s, you will stream through here like it's nothing. The leader of our guild, Gru, as we call him, he has a lot of 200s. He can pile drive through this like it's butter. So it does make a difference to get him to 200. But if you're just looking for a quick way to farm it, a group of all 160s can do it. If you got some 180s in there, then I would suggest definitely Bloody Overlord. If you're looking to make them 180s, Puppet, most definitely, because of the defense down. She's going to help quite a bit. But that is my teams. Now that my mic's working, I wanted to cover a little bit of that again the second time. And I think I'm going to leave it right there for the day. So I thank everybody for the time. I hope that some of this helped you, if not all of it. And my name is Bones. Everyone have a good day. Thank you very much for your time. Don't forget to share and like.